Well, technology and, above all, the magic that it can create is central to our next topic. In our series on light artists, we take a look at how light can change, emphasize, or even dramatize the facades of buildings. The Berlin-based brothers Jan and Tim Edler are the nucleus of the company Realities United, and their work has already changed cityscapes all over the world, and they have even brighter ideas in the works.
1,800 fluorescent lamps integrated into this glass front have turned this Berlin office building into an oversized canvas. This installation is the work of brothers Jan and Tim Edler. Among architects, they're considered specialists for light installations in and on buildings.
We're trying to develop a counter approach to the idea of covering architecture with screens like those for advertising. In many ways, our architecture has remained very conservative. What we're trying to do with our installations is maintain the accessibility of architecture and establish a relationship between it and its surroundings.
The brothers have their own company called Realities United. Their biggest project at the moment is the exterior of the new art museum in the Spanish city of Córdoba. Due to open next year, the front of the building is 110 meters long and 11 meters high.
The front of the building is designed to serve as a reflection of the artists working inside. We put a lot of thought into how we're going to create something of this scale which would allow us to display recognizable content.
The entire building is to be covered with different-sized elements. A highly complex system of fluorescent lamps and reflectors will be set inside the front of the building, and the lighting patterns will be computer-controlled.
Light can give an impression of how changeable architecture can be. We think that we are seeing architecture become dynamic. Light is perhaps the first and the easiest thing to see, and it's easy to get under control.
Realities United received international recognition for the facade they developed at the Graz Art Museum in Austria. Entire buildings become oversized screens, like the Urban Entertainment Center in the Southeast Asian city of Singapore, which they wrapped in a matrix of fluorescent tubes to create a crystal effect at a cost of millions. And an office building with 500 LED lamps behind glass.
Having a good idea is always the greatest challenge, and the ideas are new for every project, so they can take a long time to develop. It's often quite difficult to get across that an idea is the most expensive thing.
A digital clock made of lighting panels. The numbers change, but the brightness remains the same. This installation in a Berlin gallery is called Contemporary Architecture. Jan and Tim Edler's ideas are born at the interface of architecture, art, and communication, and light is a central element.
With light we can read a book, but light has a communicative capacity. Both things happen at the same time. That explains what we can see on a large scale, for example, on very large buildings. Technology used to be pretty stupid. Lights were turned off or on. Now it's being connected to create intelligence.
And pleasing aesthetics like this, where normal office lighting is controlled by computer and the building becomes a light sculpture. However, this is still just an idea. But the front of the museum in Córdoba is to be built this summer. Lighting art on the fronts of buildings. For Jan and Tim Edler, that's just the beginning for dynamic architecture.